Okay, so I'm here with Ton Voon. He is the team lead of the Nagios Plugin development project, and he's one of the new core developers on the Nagios development team. So, Ton, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to some of the community members who may not have met you in the past?
Okay, hi, I'm Ton Voon. That's Ton Voon, by the way, and I'm Chinese origin, because I've had some funny names being called before. Von Toon, I thought, was the funniest one. I've been involved in computers for quite some time. I was at one company, I was asked to put Nagios in, put that one in, did some work from the plugins there, contributed that back up, and then ended up just falling into the team really. And then Carl Bishop, who started off the Nagios Plugins team project with Ethan, he kind of left due to family commitments, and I said I'll volunteer to get the next release out. About 12 releases later, I'm still here. So I've been here for some time now.
Yeah, and you've worked with Altinity for a number of years. You guys have a product that's built upon Nagios, and now you're with Opsera, and this, I think it's a good example of how, you've talked about this too, how commercial companies that profit from or provide something of value on top of open source applications can contribute back downstream to the projects they rely upon. So I think it's a really good example.
I think basically we base our OpsView product on Nagios because it's the best monitoring system around. And we don't write our own web server, we don't write our own database, we use those tools. And that's the point, I think, is that you're kind of building on the shoulders of giants. So it's only fair, I think, if there are changes that we need to make specific things work better, then we should put those back upstream to core projects, because that makes everything better tools for everyone. So it's definitely in our philosophy to do that.
Yeah, I think it's really important just to ensure that the projects are improved. I had a good discussion with Toby, and I've got another interview with him that I'll post as well. But we had talked about the involvement of people who are getting paid as their part of their day job to actually contribute to open source projects and ensure that there's development involvement long term. Because one of the challenges with open source contributors is that people will contribute to your project, and then maybe after 2 years, because they're not doing it full time, they're not getting compensated from it, they have other commitments that come up. And we've seen that with the Plugins project and with Nagios before, and other open source applications where it's difficult.
Yeah, it's important to have a good core team. I think I'm kind of blessed at the moment because in the Plugins team there's 3 great guys who are doing tons of work as well. So they make me look good. I think if you have some guys who just need a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of guidance, and then you can just throw them along and they can produce great work. So really, Holger Weiss, Matthias Elb, and Thomas Goyo CMS, they're the great guys in the plugins team. So I'm always open to listen out for more people as well that want to join up, because I'm definitely having more people and spreading the load.
Yeah, it's important, I think, so everybody, not too few people get stuck with maintaining and doing bug fixes and taking the responsibility of doing everything for the next release, even though it's really important that you and some of the other people involved are there and kind of guide the direction of the architectural direction of how the plugins are designed and built. The libraries, some of the standards that you've come up with over the years, I think are really helpful. I don't know, I'm still waking up. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add? Do you think that's important? I mean, what do you think, what's in store for the plugins, for Nagios in the future?
Well, there's loads of things that we keep trying to do and not necessarily having all that time to do. So, stuff like, I'm really interested in trying to get some, XML data out of plugins, I think, to more describe what they're doing. This new thresholds things, I think we've been trying to work on standardized thresholds for ages, and we're starting to migrate some of the plugins over to use those, but it really takes a big effort, I think, to do that. One of the things that feeds back into is testing, because we're trying to make sure that we're not going to break existing environments as well while we're doing those threshold changes, because you don't want something to upgrade your plugins and you find that all the checks that are very carefully defined for ages are suddenly not working as expected. So there's big challenges around there. So one of the things that's helping us at the moment are tinderbox servers, getting those to test the code, the nightly code that comes out. So, we're certainly looking for help with anyone that can write on platforms that we don't necessarily have access to, like the iRix boxes, HPUX, certain Sun servers as well, the Sun servers that we don't have access to. So anyone that can help should come along to our site as well.
So other than Tinderbox build servers, are you looking for specific help? Would you like somebody to come up with, say, an example format for using XML in the plugins to describe the syntax, or wrap the output in XML?
Getting feedback on just how what that kind of information would be useful. I mean, I kind of have ideas, but people using it in their production environments, I'm sure, can give more feedback on that. So certainly any suggestions on that would be useful.
Perfect.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, I can't think of anything else.
All right. Well, thanks, Ton.
Okay.